Hello, I'm Chris. This is Gross Models. This is issue 20. We're all our way. This is 1/6 of the way through the build, so yeah, quite impressive. Issue 20 of the Terminator, build the T800. So this time we have a combination, as ever with these. We generally get some metal parts and some plastic parts, and a bag of screws and plastic that I don't need anymore. Right, let's have a look. What shall we be doing this time? Previously on Build the Terminator, we did the motor for the jaw. This time we're assembling and mounting it to the thing, to the head. So we've got motor supports and brackets, left and right brackets, some screws, and we are starting, as you normally do with these things, with step 1. We're taking the head assembly from issue 18. I've identified the head assembly. It's the bit with the head. Identify the 3 screw sockets at the back of the head. That'll be those 3 down there. Yeah, okay. I've identified them already. Yep. Align the sockets in the base with the motor support with the screw. Right. Oh, okay. So that goes into there, and we screw them in. Who'd have thought? So that just goes on there. Cool. And gets screwed in. So let's open the bag of screws. What have we got in here? Does it say? We've got 3 of the ones we need for this 4 and 1 spare, and 8 of the 2x4mm screws. So it's the slightly longer ones we need. Let's open them and get them all out. Yeah, there you go. Lots of little ones and a couple of bigger ones. So let's see what we got. We've got big one, 2 more big ones, and a pile of little ones. Okay, well the big ones we'll be using 3 of, and there is 1 spare, and they will be holding this motor casing assembly piece in place. So, as ever with these, I'm going to start with 1. Just get it in place. Then get another one. Let's say 2x4, doesn't it? Make sure I'm using the right screws. No, not the long ones. There we go. I'm using the short ones. It did seem a bit strange that I was using such a long screw. So, I'm going to leave that long one in there briefly for now, because it's only in a little bit. I shall put in the other 2 of the shorter ones. They're obviously a slightly different thread as well. That didn't feel quite as smooth going in as these ones do. So that's those 2. Let's take that one back out. There you come. And I shall use another small one in its place. And then I can tighten up the 3 of those. 1, 2, and 3. So that's the bracket held in place securely. Cool. It says about tighten it in and then come back out again, because it does sometimes, yeah. Fit it in place. Okay. Next step is to fit the motor assembly from the previous part into there. So that, oh right, this is where it joins onto that bit. I gotcha. Got to solder it into there and onto there, with the peg on the motor going through the loop. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. So that's going to rotate, which is going to make that go forwards and backwards a bit, so his mouth is going to do the whole talky thing. So we'll get that in there. Does it say what to do with the wire? It doesn't say what to do with the wire, so I shall, yeah, bend the wire up so it's coming forwards, off to one side. Doesn't really matter what side I put according to this. That will go on there. Then obviously the top of this will go on there and hold that in place. This is using 2 of the longer screws. I did double check to make sure it was saying the longer screws, and it does this time. Don't listen to me when it said it didn't. So as ever, I'll put one in, just a few turns, just to get the part located in place, and then we can get the other side and make sure it all lines up, because if you tighten one up and it doesn't line up, then it's all tight and you can't wobble it around a little bit like I'm doing here, just wobbling it around to get it in the right place so that side actually tightens down. There we go, that's that side tightened down, and then we can come back and tighten down the first side again, all the while making sure that that sits where it should sit in there, and that other pin is actually lined up inside the jaw bit like it is. Cool, we have done that then. That's that. Now get the brackets. It says to make a note of the left hand bracket has a screw on the close to the top, so that's what we need. That one. They're actually different shapes as well, so you can see the bottoms of them are angled. So this one goes on the left. Oh, it goes onto here. There you go. Line it with the top of the head. I also go to there. Oh, I gotcha. That's cool. It goes on the outsides of both of those. That's checked by turning over the page to make sure that it is what I think it is. Yep. It definitely goes over the top there. So it says matches the long peg, short screw on the back, and then the same on the other one. So there we go. Let's move that out of the way for now. Short screws, 4 of them. Oh, we got 2 spare of that then. That's interesting. So we've got a short screw going into there, and should be, if I can position it right, go through there into that hole. There we go. So get that in and located a little bit as ever. Going around and doing the same from the front. Doesn't feel like that's locating it there. Is that? It's got to be from the front, isn't it? Let me double check again. Fix the front with a screw from behind. Ah, there we go. Because it doesn't actually tighten into the plastic, it only tightens into the thing. So yeah, you've got to do this from inside. There we go, that's that. Now this is where all the wires are going to start coming off and going all over the place, but they do still fit through behind and inside of things, so I'm not too worried about that as yet, although that doesn't seem to be screwing into there very well. Let's double check. It says that screw from behind. It is using that, and it is going in from the outside this time because you can't get to the inside, so I'm not really shocked by that. Let's try a different screw just to make sure. So yeah, the screw is going just through the bracket. It's not actually tightening into the bracket, it's tightening into the head itself. And yeah, that is tightening in much nicer than the other one, so the other screw must have been a little bit, perhaps a little bit worn or not formed properly. So let's get the other one in again through the back into the bit on the front. This one I can tighten down because there's enough play on there to twiddle and get it where you need it to be. Twist that round a little bit. Grab my other screw, the last one, because we, had to reuse the other one, didn't we? Get that in there. That one's not going in there great either, so okay. Make sure it's not cross-threaded or anything like that in there. Actually, before I put that there, let's try it without the bracket so I can see exactly what we're doing. Yeah, it goes in a little bit and then it does sort of lock up. Something's not quite right there. Let's try the other screw again, just in case there's a little bit that's not as bad as it looks from the other side. Let's try that again without the bracket in the way. So that one's going in nicer there. I don't think I got the screws mixed up, but it might be that the thread in the hole is a little bit nicer to one fit than the other. So yeah, that's much nicer. Happy with that. Tighten that down. So there we have that stage complete. The motor's been fitted inside the head and the brackets now hold part of the head firmly in place. So we've got lots of different electronics coming off in various different directions. This one seems to have these two coming off this side, so let me pull that through. We'll go through there. I'm sure it will. I might have to wiggle it around a bit and get it to a bigger bit, but push that back through, take it over this side. There's not a lot of room in this head, but there is enough just to play around a little bit. So there we go, I've got those two that side, those two that side, and hopefully we're good to go. That's that stage completed. Move my screws out the way, the ones I don't use yet. Let's have a look. We have the Andromeda strain. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. They have Imaging a Black Hole, Most Advanced Telescopes Part 4. Pictures of the black hole from, quite cool. And next time, when we are back, we'll be back, it says, in next week's issue, additional components for the head assembly and a new joint. Woo, woohoo. Yeah, I don't know what joint. We'll figure it out from there. It's the right joint, according to that. So, yeah. Right, so that's that. As ever, thanks for watching. I'll put this aside and find out what's happening with issue 21 momentarily. The video will be available in the next couple of days. Stick around, watch that, watch other things while you're waiting, and I shall knock his head and see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.